I think I'm finally getting the hang of this. I appreciate
Oh, I
everybody's
think we are
patience.
live. Are we live?
We're
Yeah,
on the
we are.
tubes.
All right.
Um, we have, let's see, is this going to work or what? Did I
I don't
figure it
know.
out? It is.
I'm
Yeah, it
looking
says
for
Yeah,
it.
there we
it
go.
says
There we go.
it says we're streaming live on YouTube.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. We have Matt, Mr. Matt, and Mr. Cody's going to be joining us. DS Trucks, Sleepy DS, sitting in front of his 6'2", up and live. He's rocking and rolling. He's literally rocking right now.
Oh, dude. Whoa.
Look at that. Is he
Dude,
there?
I punched in Powerstroke Tech Talk, and one of the first populated, like, auto-generated hits from the community was location. People want to know where you are.
Was location. Location. Location, we're working on trucks. Everywhere. Literally everywhere. Let's see. What do we have down here in the bottom? Did I goof something up the last time? No. Everything looks fine over here. I think I got it. I think I have it. Yeah.
Dude, entertainment level is going to be all-time tonight.
Second live stream, Powerstroke Tech Talk, not podcast, live stream. I'm taking everybody,
Live
DS Trucks.
action.
If DS has any questions for PTT, he can make sure to get up in that super chat and look at them pearly whites smiling. We're just having fun up here, guys. And there's a couple things we were going to talk about. We have the first batch. If you guys had checked the social media out today, the first batch of kill switches are going out, coming up this week. And I think there has so far been a quite nice response to it. Everybody seems to be receptive and inquiring about how they can save their Super Duty. So we definitely have some stuff that's exciting. Mr. Matt over here, he is rocking the PTT shirt. We have to get some more. I feel bad for the guys who keep asking me about the mediums. I don't
look at.
I don't have any, and I keep procrastinating on it.
Dude, this is really tripping me out.
What's tripping you out, man?
I'm looking at the comments on YouTube, but I'm trying to look at the screen that we're on too, and it is just screwing with me because I can't tell which one I need to look at.
You got to ignore the screen with us on it and just look at the comments only.
Well, no, because then I won't remember if I'm staring at the camera or not.
A lot of the recent comments I've been getting has been mostly to the charger cooler duct replacement video that just went up on Friday. A lot of guys were going to the Instagram and talking about, is this a common thing I'm seeing? Is this going to be a recall? And, I think to address if it's going to be a recall, definitely not like the 18M03 for the cab chassis where it was the charger cooler duct was blowing apart. This one isn't really blowing apart, although I have heard of them blowing apart. This one is kind of getting eroded by oil, and I don't know if it's just the flow of the pipe or where the oil collects, just being naturally in there from the CCV and in the intercooler, it just kind of erodes the pipe. I don't know, Matt, have you seen a lot, or not a lot, but have you seen, a good handful of those where it's just you know what I mean?
It's right where the vacuum hose, the vacuum tube, and the degas hose are, just right underneath it.
One
see
guy,
that little split, but I mean, are you only seeing it on pickups and not cabin chassis?
Yeah, I have done, I think out of all the I say, if I were to guess, I think I've probably done a dozen pickups. And out of all those, I would say probably one cab chassis. It's fairly easy to replace. 7 milli worm clamp down on the intercooler, and just a wiggle clip. Using your pocket screwdriver or what have you. But one guy had actually mentioned that his coolant hose is touching the duct and is almost chafing on it. And I was wondering, I checked mine was fine. I was wondering if DS's was chafing. Although his is a 450, it would still be orientated, possibly, I mean, in the same way. But
I don't know. I haven't looked. But I will say this, or I wanted to say, or you guys would know. In the video, you mentioned a plastic one, a hard plastic one versus a rubber one. So which ones would be hard plastic? Different models or different years or what?
Different years. That's your 11 through 16 that had the plastic one.
what up, Ford Asset Tech?
So
What
that plastic one doesn't fit the new ones.
No,
at
you
all.
can't interchange them.
That's Eli, Aaron.
That's him right there.
So another
Eli.
thing too, though, even with like you mentioned the recall, would it ever be recalled because it's technically not a safety thing, or is it? I mean, you
Well,
lose
there's a certain
power
things
and all that.
that obviously are going to require it to be a recall, but
Would that be technical service, or would that be?
um,
I guess
do you
losing
mean?
power, because it seems like recalls mainly safety stuff, where it's like, oh, let's
stuff has
recall
to
it.
happen over and over
Yeah.
for that
I bet that if anything, it becomes a customer satisfaction
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I shouldn't say most of. A good amount of Ford's programs are customer satisfaction generated.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but when they send out the whole thing, like let's send letters to everybody and it's all over the news and all that, isn't that usually like a safety thing?
Yeah and no, or it's an emissions thing.
Yeah, I
What,
guess it
safety
depends
or
on how many
emissions?
times that has to happen. Or
Yeah, because I know Cody might know the exact on
FG.
it. But
Sorry to interrupt you. FG. If you're asking, fresh tuna, daddy in the house. Do you guys still cover the 7.3s? By all means. And I have to make a very, very hintful suggestion. You might want to stay locked to the channel because we have some very, very, very exciting 7.3 content coming out. And I'm not talking 7.3 old 7.3. I mean new 7.3. I'm talking all old 7.3. Not IDI, but old 7.3. So yeah, we do and we will. It's something that's very popular because guys are still running them, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. Daddy Tuna, Daddy Diesel with the fresh tuna. Always like the sandwiches with the no crust. But answering the questions, I like the Ford Asset Tech. I was able to talk with this guy. He reached out to me over the internet and had a particular issue with a high pressure oil problem that was quite unique on a 6-liter. And look, now he's watching us live here. Seen a couple comments from him there on the YouTube. So good to see him tuning in.
It looks like Nick Thatcher says my 2026 7 got a wrench light, 19,000 miles. These 10 speeds are junk.
I got an interesting video that I just did regarding a problem with a 10R 140 that we saw, and it was kind of interesting. It has nothing to do with the customer satisfaction program, 21B30. But nonetheless, it was an issue, and it was in a gazillion pieces on the bench, and it was just, the parts were massive. The case was massive. Like, there is a lot of stuff in this trans. So I do apologize. I would hate to have had issues with mine. I wonder, Nick, if you're still with us, what was your build date? If you know off the top of your head, and what was
yeah, I don't know how long you've been following the channel, Nick, but I did recently have that's probably, I can't say for sure it's the same wrench light, but probably a similar situation where I had a wrench light come on and some weird shifting. I went and had everything reprogrammed, and I've been good ever since. So, probably something simple.
I don't know. My thing when they come out with new revisions to things or new whatever is you got to give it a year or two to figure out the bugs, and then it's usually bulletproof.
Yeah.
Or somewhat, because I mean, shoot, look at the 6.7 when it first came out, and there were glow plug tips eroding away and falling down into the cylinder.
Yeah, that's true.
That would have made me not want to buy a 6.7 at the time, but
yeah, when you want to come out with real, extreme products like 10-speed transmissions and heavy duty trucks, I mean, I guess things happen.
yeah.
What's this guy say? FG says my PCM died and I am awaiting a repair on it.
I'd be upset. Weird buzzing noise shifting forward to third sounds terrible. Build date was July 2020.
A buzzing noise, huh? Interesting. Ouch. I just hurt my ankle. I wonder if Nick, if he has I wonder if he has had any of the any updates done at all. I wonder, let's see here. Because I had some information. There was a well, I don't know necessarily if that was his particular problem.
Fred Talon. Have I done the recall? I haven't performed the gear set change out, but I've pulled a 10-speed now, and it wasn't much different than pulling a 6-speed out. It was actually kind of nicer because you don't have a transmission dipstick tube blocking your valve housing bolts.
I'd agree.
But the thing, I mean, we don't have an adapter that works perfectly for it yet. But
Daddy Diesel brought something up, Matt, you wanted to talk about. It says, if we had to guess how many duties are at the Kentucky Speedway, what would your guess be?
All of them.
So are we, being at the dealer, Matt, are we short on Super Duty?
Dude, we're short on everything right now.
Everything.
And I think the media isn't doing a good job at covering what's actually like missing from the trucks. It's not like they're taking, as far as I know, they don't have like one PCM they're sharing to get all these trucks off the line and throwing them in Kentucky Speedway's parking lot.
Well, you know what? That's interesting because I was there at Ground Zero with the 150s when they were missing parts. And I can tell you, it was kind of weird. It was kind of all over the place. It was like, at the start of it, it was bad. It was like wiper motors, different modules throughout the truck.
My understanding has been wiper motors and moonroofs.
I never seen a truck get built without a moonroof, but maybe a module.
Whatever module they use.
Okay, yeah, maybe a module for the moonroof.
I don't know. I think there was a supply issue with the Bronco Sport to the point where if you were to build a Bronco Sport now and you wanted it now, you wouldn't be able to get it with a moonroof because there's a supply shortage.
I did hear that. But being on Ground Zero with the 150s, seeing how many components were missing, like just keep in mind, my area that I've worked in is very tiny. It's very tiny, and it was just a substantial part. There's a substantial number of parts that weren't even, like, we're just not putting this on, not putting that on. And then they were drivable, drivable to being parked wherever they were being parked. But I just remember thinking, like, this is going to be such a nightmare to fix all these trucks, because we can build those trucks real quick. Right. You're on the line. Quick. But to go back and then and you have to wonder if the infrastructure is there.
Roush
track.
Roush will get all those things.
Yeah,
they'll get retros to do it. We did it on 650, 750 when they were rolling those out back in 16. Well, late 15,
Yeah,
16.
it's yeah, they can do it, but we're running these trucks. We're running these trucks off of the line so quick. It's just going to take time to get that stuff. Best case scenario is going to take time because all those repairs are going to take time. Nobody's going to walk up to a truck and it's going to be done in a minute.
Nope, they'll have a VIN list. They'll have a VIN list that says this truck, it needs this, this, and this, and Roush will go and put this, this, and this in it, and they'll program it, and it'll be on its way.
Oh, we got a local Brighton Ford dude. What up, Aaron? I just that's the second person I've seen with the name ARod.
ARod
today.
fixes everything.
That's awesome. Brighton Ford. Brighton Ford. I hear you guys got is that true? You have a big fleet center over there, or a big truck thing, big building?
Dude, I don't know if anyone touches our truck shop. I'm not sure. I feel like you guys do, but
yeah, I mean, I think I heard Brighton's got a fleet center, Coastal Cincinnati Diesel, Daddy Diesel.
pretty sure they do.
That particular case, you done messed up, Aaron. The truck that Eli had, Ford Asset Tech, was quite a interesting high pressure oil leak. And actually, somebody commented, Mr. Matt, if you go to the
oh, that's what that. Okay, yeah.
Did you see what did I send that to you, or a screenshot?
No, I got the notification. It was
did you?
Yeah, it was my air leak story. That was
Yeah,
7 months
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that one should be out, or did I never share it?
No, you never told it.
I never
wound up talking about it in the podcast.
I thought okay.
No.
This is a really, really good story. So if you guys want to hear a 6-liter air test, you might want to grab some popcorn. So guy that had worked in our truck shop and worked very strongly said here, was working on a 6-liter, went to lead tech, kind of told him what was going on. So he's like, okay, so you need to air leak test it. And he's like, okay. He just glances over how to do it, pulls ICP out, sticks the adapter hose in there, and then he's got another guy in the truck, and Buddy's got this air hose held right up to his ear and yells, "Crank it!" And my lead tech was just like, "What are you doing?" And he was about to have, I'm sure it's not that much with, well, I got to think about how small, I don't know. You're probably going to have a couple hundred PSI oil squirt into your ear. But yeah, he saved Buddy from having an ear full of oil because he didn't realize that you're supposed to just put shop air to the high pressure oil system.
So this guy was going to like blast oil right into his eardrum, like right up in the canal of his ear.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
He's got shivers.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. Just imagine like the doctor is just like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Ooh, Robert Short's got a good one. I got a 2011 F250 6.7 4x4 hard shift between 1 and 2 going up and coming down. It's programmed. Man, that could be two things going on. I have to find yet any 6.7 trans tuning that doesn't make it feel like you're about to snap leaf springs, that those things shift so dang hard.
Arkham.
But it could be a valve body issue right there, especially on the coming down part. Feels like you get rear-ended.
I have had quite a few 11 through 16s where the throttle body, what am I talking about? The valve body, like the whole, solenoid pack, valve body, the whole shebang, main control, the whole thing. Where they actually needed that, and it was like a 2-3 shift flare. And
then you'll have the real harsh downshifts.
Yeah.
If it's harsh downshifts, I just do a valve body, but
that's interesting. I don't really get into the trans, but I was just explaining. I don't know if you had heard me. We had the parts with this 10R140 we had on the bench tour part was pretty beefy. Like whoa, like whoa. ARod, did you see the pics on the Ford Diesel Tech Facebook forum on the fuel filter fire? I did not, but I will reiterate again, anybody knowing anybody
Fuel filter fire?
getting a fuel filter fire on their Duty or Powerstroke, I want you to reach out to them. I don't have a lot of time to be trolling through Facebook, but please get them my info. I'd love to reach out to them. I want to talk to them, maybe get them on the show, and I have some detailed questions I want to ask, some chain of events that happened previous to this fire that's starting, because it's been something I've been seeing. I had people screenshot on Instagram or text message, front of a duty's completely melted, flames,
What,
10 feet high.
from the fuel filter cracking?
Yeah. So it's
Hmm.
yeah, it was a technician's truck. I think that's what I heard too as well. He had just changed the fuel filters like 2,000 miles ago or something. I'm just curious.
How in the
I don't know.
world does the truck catch on fire?
I don't know. I just
So that's what I was, thinking, but
I don't know. I just got a lot of questions, I guess. I don't know, being a driver and Super Duty owner myself, and I want to know, is this something that I need to talk about on the channel, or do I need to make a video on this regarding,
well, it's
know,
it's interesting. It doesn't always catch on fire. Sometimes it, cracks and sprays fuel everywhere. It's a
I
mess.
was gonna say, we usually have them they just crack and spray fuel, put new filters on, and down she goes.
But the whole fire thing and what's igniting what is igniting the fuel? Is it
heat?
It had to be heat from the manifolds or turbo or something.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be real hot.
That's what I was thinking.
A lot of them you see is they're towing. So
They are. You're right.
Well,
That's correct. Ford asset, Eli.
I mean,
never seen one really not towing.
If it's spraying out there in a real fine mist, it would probably make it a lot easier for it to combust.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't really just light,
It's not like gasoline. Absolutely not.
That's interesting. I would love to see this.
But think about this: gasoline on the hot exhaust manifold. What's going to happen?
Well, the manifolds are on the inside, so it's just squirting on just the hot engine.
This is right by the turbo, I would think, right? Near the turbo.
Is that why they took the insulation off the hood?
Maybe because it was getting soaked.
It was getting saturated, and then
No, I think they did that for cost, and it's
yeah,
not really necessary.
that's why you have
They did it. They did 150s too.
That's why
I have a video. I have a video coming up. Everyone that is interested in new vehicles right now, they are hot commodities. Everybody wants it. Currently, right now, I have one for sale. This is my very, very good client of mine's.
Client.
Okay. We have a 2013. These are the pictures I have just right now. A 2013 Super Cab Lariat. Only one owner, only maintained and repaired by me. If you guys are interested or are looking for a truck, get with me, email me or something. I can pass you along some information, get this thing sold. Because if you're looking for a truck, this is, one where you're always questioning yourself, is like, has this been taken care of? What's it been doing? All those unknowns can and will be answered. It's a
Grandpa Gold.
It is a Grandpa Gold. It is a Grandpa Gold.
That's an interesting topic, considering used truck prices are just so, like, my 450 is worth more money than I paid for it. I was just messing around on the 250, 350 group on Facebook, and I'm like, 90,000. The truck, the The truck is 81 new MSRP, and I was just like 90,000. And
All
I'm
right.
getting direct messages, and guys are like, "Are you is the truck available?" All kind of crazy stuff, and it's like,
All right, we've got two good questions. Evan says he's having issues with his AC. Okay, what kind? We might be able to maybe tell you. Double X diesel. Do you guys work flat rate? I do at my local Ford dealer here in Vermont.
Yeah, we're flat right here, baby.
My
know the
answer
flat rate life.
is
someone says right here,
kind of.
diesel fuel can
I kind
ignite
of get paid flat rate.
between 126 degrees and 205 degrees. Is that's Fahrenheit?
Mhm.
Diesel 126 degrees. Dang, that ain't that hot.
Oh, that's funny. That is a funny comment from Ford Asset Tech.
Yep.
I was just about to say something.
A good one. A good one.
Because I just talked to someone about this the other day.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's the guy sitting below me.
This is a good question, worthy of a super chat. Super chat question. We should get some of those rolling in. Ford Asset Tech. There's a really good reason, and I guess there's three good reasons. One, the FRP is in there. Not saying that you could have a biased FRP, but FRP is the eyes to the PCM, what's going on in the high pressure fuel system. Two, there is an orifice that is in that rail that is supposed to equalize the pressure between this rail and that rail. That little orifice can become dislodged. And there is, I have a picture. I think I tagged it in the end of the video that I talked about the fuel system on the bench. And there is a torque sequence with the PCV, and that sometimes can get messed up because I remember Cody, we were going over this, and doesn't it cut its seal actually into the rail?
Yeah, it cuts
With,
into the rail, and the torque sequence is to help clear the chips. Is from what I understand. So if you just replace the whole rail, you eliminate most of the problems with a 88 or 2291. Then you're just left with injectors or the pump. And injectors you can do the M15 for the returns. Check for leaks on the return side, and you get no leaks, and the only thing left is the pump at that point.
Roger that. Let's see here. Let me go over here.
We never have rails in stock, so if it looks like a PCV, I do PCV.
Yeah. It's oh shoot. CP coming through. ARod. He goes here. What's he got here?
That's for the piece of cheese he ate off the bottom of the pizza pan tonight. He felt bad, so he's got to pay you back.
I have a 17 Platinum 350 I bought used from a 40 before I owned it. I split the upper fuel filter. The truck dropped the fuel less than a mile. Wow.
Andy K. What do you got that? How do you have your truck upfitted, and what are you using it for? Because we don't really get a lot of guys on here with cab and chassis trucks.
No, we don't.
Because that's probably 70% of my customers are commercial fleets with cab and chassis trucks. So I got a sweet spot for them.
I think a lot of my repairs are cab chassis trucks. I think a lot of it has to deal with how they are actually used and maintained, but it is something that I can't control, but nonetheless it is something I have to deal with. And
11-foot utility. Okay.
It can be such a wide variety. The the ratio of repairs farly exceed the pickup trucks, but I still have pickup trucks. The pickup trucks usually have, the stupid stuff. The interior creature comforts don't work, and
I almost would
You
rather
know.
work on a cabin chassis. Well, that's just me. That's just me. CP4
yeah,
to CP3 conversion. Nah,
Nah.
it's not enough of an issue. Not for us at least. I don't see the purpose in it. Cody,
yeah,
can you
no.
answer this for me? Is the pump in a 6.4 a CP3?
I think it's what is that, Siemens or whatever the hell they are.
Is it a Siemens? But I thought it was a Bosch pump.
I don't think so. We
I
can
don't
look
know.
at it in the coffee table book.
Let's someone pop that coffee table book up because it's got
He's on it.
I'm
it's a
on it.
radial piston design like a CP3. So I'm like, hey, I've seen a lot more 6.4 pumps fail than 6.7 pumps.
The CP3s on the Dodges seem to last a long time. That's probably why everyone likes them so much.
Hey, did you guys see that comment from Chris 66B? Said his upper fuel filter failed and it dropped the fuel level. You guys saw that? You guys talked
Yeah.
about that already?
I've seen that happen.
But I'm saying if diesel fuel ignites at 126 degrees, then it's truck should have ignited, right? I mean, unless
Depends.
Dude, I don't know.
it didn't get on something. I mean,
It's just very odd to me because we'll have trucks that have injector hold down bolts break and miraculously bend the hell out of that stainless steel line, and the injector will be damn near hanging out of the truck and it never catches on fire.
yeah. I mean, I'm curious to how's it actually catching on fire. I mean, it have to be pretty hot. It'd have to be like glowing.
You know what? While we're on the topic of fuel systems, is there anyone that's watching right now that has had to service a 3 liters belt or pump?
Ooh.
I've done a belt. I've done a belt at Roush before there was a procedure.
Because you became the procedure, didn't you?
Yep. I pulled the cab.
Yeah, I think if it was me, I'd probably pull the trans to do the belt, but if I'm doing the pump, I'm probably gonna do CP3 pump physically will not fit in a 6.7, so it can't be done. I'm sure there's somewhere you could put one, drive it off the accessory drive belt. I mean, there's people that do
Put
it.
second pumps on them anyway.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see. I mean, I've seen them with two before, but
Yup. I mean, I've seen 6.7s with Exergy double pumpers on them, but we haven't had anything come through the store that had a double pumper on.
Sean, doesn't your
TPMS?
450 have a TPMS on the back?
No, sir. My truck doesn't have it because it's got the 19.5 inch tires.
Really?
Yeah, I think a 350 dually can have a factory tire pressure monitoring system.
True.
Now the aftermarket ones, I'm not sure. I don't have one, but I'm sure there's something out there that's aftermarket that you can put on a 19.5 inch tire.
I don't know. That's a good question.
There's something out there.
That would be for someone that works at the truck plant to know if they. Cody, you know if they put the TPMS receivers in cabin chassis trucks?
I do not. I mainly do the performance side of things, so engine performance and check engine lights and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had an idea.
Oh, was he asking for a cabin chassis truck?
Who?
So Andy K, a good way to figure it out would be to check out Big Truck Big RV. He's got an aftermarket tire pressure monitoring system on his F450. So whatever he's got over there probably work.
Ford Asset Tech, Eli. I have a It's going to be like probably 18-minute video, and I talk about a 207F 20EE 401 vehicle that, you know, really I learned it was really a hard diagnostic. Followed it all the way through. Unfortunately, I feel you know, embarrassed to talk about it, but you know, unfortunately, the vehicle came back 5 times,
Ooh.
and it really sucks. I each time thought I had it, thought I had it, thought I had it, took it out, drove it, all the numbers looked good, come back, and yeah, it really sucked. But you know, it was a learning experience. Luckily, throughout the whole process, the biggest thing is the customer was so understanding. It was a fleet company. They had multiple vehicles, so they totally understood. But to the point I was making, those 207Fs and 401s and 20Es, if you don't have the right information to look at, or the proper scan tools, us Ford guys, if you guys know what we're talking about. If we're using FDRS or IDS, you know, there's a lot of info we can really hone in on, and it can be trying. And I go over it in my video to basically, you know, kind of tell my story and show you guys ultimately what I found and how not to miss it, because the very first step, everybody is skipping. And I'm
What? Checking the air filter?
I'm
Checking
guilty.
intake for restrictions
Oh yeah, that too.
I'm
behind the
guilty.
throttle body. Be more precise.
I had to replace the air filter and kept on moving. The gauge was sucked down, so it yeah, it's going to be a good video. Eli, you should watch out for that one. It's in production right now, but
So did you end up cleaning out that? Did you put a manifold on it?
no, I wound up cleaning it out. I wound up using my little vacuum and kind of picking vacuum, and basically, you know, extracting all of the broken carbon pieces out. And you know, something that I've never really used, and see, that's why I don't know if other scan tools like these Soluses and blah blah blah, if they can access um, the mode 6 data. And Matt knows what I'm talking about. There's this NOx catalyst conversion efficiency. What would that be, Matt? Like, is that a graph? Not graph, but
No,
just
it's just mode
chart.
6. Literally any scanner you have can read mode
can I
6. It
can
has
I
to.
um
Maybe that's mode 9.
yeah, maybe
No,
mode
it's
9.
mode 6.
Mode 6
Cody.
is mode 6 is
All
OBD2.
OBD. Yeah, it's
Right.
got to be mode 6. And you know, watching the NOx efficiency and the range it's supposed to be in, you know, it really can tell you if you've fixed your concern. I never used to look at that. I never really, I guess, was
It
really
will.
honed in to
It'll
the.
tell you.
Yeah, it really will. Assuming all of your sensors and data is correct, like you want to make sure you have good NOx sensors and they're not biased, and you know, blah blah blah. But
I
you
mean,
know,
Cody knows this because him and I love to talk about those two codes. Is I scan the truck. If I get a 20EE 207F, dude, I don't even do the pinpoint test yet. I go drive the truck and I pull up Knox 1 and Knox 2 and see what's going on. And then you can kind of hone in which
Which way you want to go?
which way you want to go. Because if you just start like that, I would almost say that pinpoint test is backwards in a sense, with having you go drive 25 miles after you've checked everything. And most people are going to get, they're not really sure how to interpret it. They're like, they might have a connector one way and think it's the other way. And they're like, oh, well, that circuit's good when it's really not. And long story short, that pinpoint test, those codes, you can't shortchange at all. If they're saying check pin fit, you got to check pin fit, because I got burned on pin fit on a def injector once.
Fred's got a good point here. He says there's a TSB floating around, and there is for 207F and 20E, and there I talk about it in the video that I made, and it's good to bring it to I guess point now. In the very beginning of that Adobe PDF, it's in bold. It says nothing upstream will cause a 207F and a 20EE. That is not correct.
No.
Stuff upstream can cause those codes. So I, seeing it in bold, was like, yep, okay, there's nothing up there that is going to be causing this. So it was all downstream. You know, I'm concentrating, you know, I've already, you know, did the dosing tests, and I've got, you know, good NOx sensors. You know, is it the SCR, is it the inject, you know, it's nothing upstream, when in fact it was something upstream. So
here's my question for Aaron, and then I want, okay, Aaron, say you're the average person. What would you expect your NOx readings to be upstream if your EGR valve was sticking open? Not enough to make the truck run rough and stumble, but like it's enough to be doing something to a combustion event, if you know what I mean.
oh, look at this guy, Boostang, repping. Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate it. Yes, you know I got you. Um, um, I think I remember that particular job. I'm always lurking. That's funny. I appreciate it, buddy. So I guess I don't know how to answer that.
Would you expect NOx one to go up or down?
Well, NOx, if the EGR valve is sticking open, NOx is going to be going down. So I just, you know, you have to know how that is supposed to function, I guess, and really.
Right. Because I think a lot of people would be like, oh, well, if the EGR is open, it's got to go up because more NOx is going in, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not the
Cooling
case.
is cooling it more, so it's going to lower NOx.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gotta, man, you just gotta pay attention to stuff. That's all it is.
It's
There it is. We got him.
who is that?
You got who?
Asset Tech. He said it would be high. I'm not out to get anyone. I'm just trying to help at this point right now because these codes are just annoying. You would go low
Yeah,
because you're
NOx 1-1.
introducing inert gas that's going to lower combustion temp. So you're going to produce less NOx.
So that's a good way to see if your catalyst, more particularly your SCR, is doing what it should be. Because if you have your NOx 1-1 should always be higher than your NOx 1-2. So if it's inherently lower, let's just give you, you know, for sake of argument, if it's 200 up front and it's 100 out back, well, then you know your catalyst is working. In my particular case, in one that I had, and not this one on the video I was talking about, but I had a couple of weeks ago, both the NOx sensors were reading the same. How is that possible? If you got good NOx sensors, there's got to be something wrong with the catalyst, and it's not using that material it's made out of, combined with the heat and the gas flowing, not the talking about fuel, the exhaust gases flowing through, that chemical reaction is not taking place for it to reduce that number coming out past NOx 1-2. It's a pain in the butt. It's not something I remember when first starting off. Eli, he's going to have to learn, you know, or has learned, you know, evap, doing evap. I don't know why, when I think back now, I don't know why I could not connect the dots, man. Like evap, I don't know. When I think back, I don't know why I just couldn't just connect the dot. Like it was the hardest thing for me to grasp. And, you know, now
these guys are diesel hacks.
Who's? These guys are diesel hacks? Let's go.
Interesting.
Real good, buddy.
Very interesting. All right, sure.
Yep. We'll see you. And
Sean's over there laughing. He paid the guy $10 to say that.
Well, I'm not really. I'm a diesel hack. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to you guys. You're talking about. I know what evap is. Is that the system that captures the vapors from the fuel tank? Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
Your evap system. Yeah.
I
And
still
then-
have to look at I have to look at the manual every time to see how it works, because what's an evap system?
I mean, I don't know how it works. There's a bunch of hoses on the fuel tank. I know that, but then
I mean, I gotta work on both gas and diesel in our truck shop, so it's like I had to
and I do know the EGR
relearn
is
stuff.
the exhaust gas recirculation, and it's to lower emissions by inserting the exhaust gas back into the intake,
Mhm.
which makes less power but less emissions. I don't know.
It's kind of
I-
interesting how you
I'm
can reduce
like-
emissions by using emissions.
Isn't that weird?
I know, isn't that funny? I don't think this stuff works. I don't think, you know what I mean? I don't think at the end of the day, I don't think it all works. I think, you know, you got your DPF filter, but then if you do a regen, I think you get it all back. You just turn it into something smaller that maybe you don't see it, but
Andy K. Thank you,
Okay.
Andy K. Appreciate it, bud.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember where we were going this before we were rudely interrupted. Jake Rains, if transmission goes, do y'all replace them or rebuild them? Yeah, wow, that's a loaded question. It's kind of the same thing with engines. It depends. I always give the customer this option. So we can go with a new assembly or a Ford quality reman. Those usually carry like a 2-year unlimited mileage powertrain warranty. So anything happens to it, you're covered. You're also going to spend a lot more money. Or we can repair just the problem, and service part warranty is only going to cover those parts that were replaced. So say you have a lower end issue and it drops a valve afterwards when it's rebuilt for unrelated reasons, no workmanship issues, just stress, fatigue, age of the engine, you're screwed. Ford they might give you assistance, but overall, yeah. I always recommend
Andy K, what kind of truck do you drive? In the comment, put that in the comment section, Andy K. I'm curious.
P-Day, I won't message you. If you go check out my fuel system 6.7 fuel system videos, you will see the video that I made on my truck draining the fuel water on it, and I actually show you what it looks like with water in it, just in case you didn't know, and go over how often you should be doing it. It's not long, it's short, good info packed in there. Hey, dropping knowledge on there because people are going to be like, so how long do I let it go for if I'm draining it? Well, water's going to be on the bottom. It's going to first thing coming out. And if you've never seen water in diesel fuel, you will there. So PD, go check that out.
I always recommend a month, but I lived in Florida every month, but I lived in Florida, so
you always had water in there.
Oh yeah.
Cody, read Fred's comment there. I haven't particularly heard that, but 1112s, I know they were kind of goofy anyway.
Yeah. I always err on the side of the 4 main things, then go from there.
550 utility body.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Holy moly, utility
baby.
body. What are you doing with that? Andy K, what are you doing with that?
You doing
Like utility
equipment
body.
repair.
Yeah, what are you doing? Trailer repair?
You got a crane on it.
Are you a sprinkler dude?
But wow, I didn't know
What are you
because
doing?
a 550's got a 14K gross vehicle weight rating.
Oh, let's guess what he
think
does before he comments. Let's see.
I think it would have had
so he's
more.
a 21. He's gonna have like PTOs.
But he's got utility body.
Utility body. Maybe he's delivering like tires for like Tread Rock or something. Are you like a Michelin tire guy?
Oh, dude, we got a Tread Rock truck in
Well,
right
he's
now.
not. He doesn't have a trailer on it. It's just a 550.
Oh, works on
Works
cranes.
on
Lots of
cranes.
Okay. We get a lot of what's some dudes? Is it Allied? No, not Allied. Altec. We get a lot of Altec guys. And I'll tell you what, them Altec guys, they got these 550s extra long with the crane utility body in the back, triple AC, triple alternator. I mean, they got so much stuff packed on these 6.7s. I love my 6.7.
You can do a triple alternator.
I'm being facetious. I mean, it had
Oh,
dual factory, dual alternator. It had
You can't say that because Sean's like, I want another alternator on my truck.
I'm sitting here thinking he's got 3 alternators. How do we do
He's like,
that?
wait, how? I need to get that inverter, and this motherfucker's got 3 alternators. How?
Cody,
Hey Matt,
a 2457, is that a warped bypass door?
I was just gonna ask, is that during the Kion engine run test? Because if it is, it's because the EGR valve's not opening.
I don't remember what some of these codes
Well,
are.
the bypass, if it doesn't see the change when the EGR moves, the bypass won't do its thing during the Kion engine run test.
Oh, Andy's got no crane. No
So
crane.
it'll
Okay. No
so
crane.
it'll set the efficiency code because it doesn't do the actual test during the. If that makes any sense.
I don't know. Maybe the guy that called us hacks was the guy I called out on TikTok for using bottle jacks to jack up an engine and a cab to do an oil pan.
Bet it was that guy.
Man.
Hey,
Alltech.
Matt.
Oh,
Matt,
Alltech lip. Oh yeah, dude. Okay, I know.
Aaron, look
exactly.
at Buddy.
today, Matt, I figured out with the
Okay.
gear that I have in my truck, it doesn't back up very fast. I had to back up on ramp getting stuck on 94 with flooding.
Freaking A rights.
And
Why
I'm
you
like,
just
well,
just drive right through it.
I should have turned around and went up, drove up, but I'm like, I'll put it in reverse real quick. I'm like 2,500 RPM, 10 miles an hour. Like, come on. People are like, go. Like, this guy was like coming at me, like, why are you going so slow? Because of those gears that I have, and I won't, it's
You
not
want what?
good. I won't say it, but it's
You
not
want
good.
what?
It's not good at going 430 gears.
430 gears. Cheers.
It's not good at going in reverse at all. I'm like,
Cheers.
dang, you get 10 miles an hour out of it in reverse. That's about all you get.
Well, I mean, why you gotta go any faster?
Just in that one, I knew it was a little slower in reverse when plowing, but I never needed to go that fast. I'm like, yeah, it's a little slower, But my gas truck's got the 430 gear as well, and you got to drink to that too.
Yeah.
It's got the 430 gear as well, but I don't notice that the gas engine's fine. It revs it out, and it's no factor. But with the diesel engine, it's like,
Hey, Cody.
Hmm.
Can you tell me why the hell Ford says I need to pull the downpipe bolts off if I'm pulling the trans out of a 10-speed?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There is no reason for it, but you know what? Recall says do it, so we do it.
Daddy Diesel. That's right.
Cheers, buddy. 430 gears, buddy. Synthetic oil, buddy.
What's the
Right.
putty knife trick for when checking the EGR for being partially stuck open? I thought the pinpoint test wanted you to observe NOx1 for an increase from the EGR valve when being partially stuck open. Well, if you use the putty knife trick, you're actually sliding that in between the exhaust pipe to block it off to see if NOx is actually going up. If NOx1's going up, then you know it's completely blocked off. It can't be the EGR leaking. And if you take that back off and NOx1 starts coming down, then you know that EGR valve's got to be leaking. If you've commanded it closed,
Leaking.
it's either the seats. Usually what I see is the cab chassis ones because they're the cast iron valve. I got a good video of removing that. It will do just that, kind of what you're experiencing. So I hope that kind of cleared that up. But yeah, it's kind of a tricky bugger. Getting better at them. Just when you think you have, the last 11 years, these trucks, or 10 years rather, these trucks figured out, I'm telling you, you figure something else new out that you didn't know.
It's only going to get worse at the end of July.
Mm.
Ain't that right, Mr. Cody? If you can't do a 207F or a 20 EE, well, we thought we were going to have that happen soon. You better freaking tighten your pants.
Schedule for trans fluid change on my 10-speed. What's the schedule? The schedule would still be my recommendation. I would still, be doing it. I guess it's going to depend on how you use it. There's nothing wrong with dropping the pan, throwing some new fluid in there. These new ones, I have a video.
I was about to say, if you don't have a pressurized vessel to get that fluid in.
I have a video coming up how to properly check your transmission fluid in your 10R140 if you did just a pan and a filter, or if you did a complete transmission overhaul. There's actually 2 fluid filling procedures. So not that you all are going to have to do the one if you did the overhaul, but if you do want to do on your back, doing the DIY repairs at home, I'm going to show you the Harbor Freight tool that I bought that works fantastic to fill your trans fluid up. There's a procedure. We'll go over that in the video of how to do so. And now that these things are going to be having miles on it, and we're going to have to tear them out for that customer satisfaction program when they do come in, Matt, Cody, we're all going to have to fill, even DS, if he's going to be the dude underneath his truck changing his trans fluid, we're all going to have to use this same method, whether you're doing it with your right hand, I'm doing it with my left hand, this dude's doing it with his foot, this guy's doing it with a robot. It has to be done this exact same way. So
wow,
it's kind of a pain. I think actually for the gassers because of the exhaust, because you have the Y pipe. So thank you that we just have the DPF to worry about on one side. I mean, we have the little tiny drive shaft on the other side, but thank God we don't have to deal with the the exhaust. So
yeah, both
Fred.
the converters are right there.
So Fred, are you trying to figure out if you would need a S110 or 130 or a Dana S140? That's probably what you're trying to figure out.
Matt's your booty man. I don't.
Hope is.
Yeah,
That's my answer to that.
Copus is your only answer.
Ta.
I can only wonder why that thing needs a rear axle. Is it because the pinion seals are bad? Puked all the fluid out? Is it because Ford or Dana didn't put enough fluid in them and they're afraid that the wheel bearings are going to lock up? Man, that you want to talk about a job that doesn't pay enough.
Good.
Putting hub bearings in a freaking bread truck for 2.1 hours under a program. That ain't enough time Ford.
Bum, bum, bum.
And then you got to squeeze 14 quarts of fluid into that son of a gun.
It's a pain in the butt sometimes, but
Man, I remember doing trans pan and fluid. It was like you poured it in a dipstick tube. Now there's no dipstick tube.
Nope. And
yeah.
So
Sean, you want to know something interesting about that new fluid, the ULV fluid?
what about?
Dude, you would think that stuff was coolant if you didn't know any better.
Are you serious?
It is so thin. Aaron can back me up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not green, is it? Or it's not orange,
No,
whatever.
It's still red.
So why would I think it's coolant? What are you trying to say, Matt?
You would think it's coolant because
I'm gonna think the coolant's red.
Oh my God,
Oh,
Sean,
man.
will you
Jeez.
shut up and
That's
let
a
me
dig.
talk? Shut
So
up.
it would be great
Shut
diesel
up.
fuel, right?
That was
Yes.
a dig at me.
I'm drinking to that.
It wasn't a dig. This is so anyone that's looking at this is like, well, this fluid's kind of watery. It is by nature
Nah,
a very,
bro.
very
Mhm.
low viscosity.
Watery.
So what it smell like?
I don't know.
Smell like
You
coolant?
ever- No, dude, it kind of smells
So
like.
it's so
you know
it's
when-
red and it smells like trans fluid, and I'm gonna think it's coolant.
No, it smells
So
like.
when I come into
Sean, shut
your
up.
shop,
Shut
when I
up.
come into your shop with a coolant reservoir full of trans fluid,
Yeah, that's great. Customer put coolant in his reservoir bottle
customer
for
put
his
trans
washer fluid.
Customer put trans fluid in his
Sean
entire
shows
cooling
up
system.
pumping country music. I don't know. I thought that was the coolant symbol.
It
Oh,
seemed
Fred.
watery.
So
Yeah,
Fred,
it seemed watery.
Fred's doing the recall.
That's funny. The recall shows we have 130. Oh my goodness.
No, they have a 130.
Have a 130.
I'm just
Oh.
waiting. I'm just waiting for this comment section to explode from me yelling at Sean.
Be sure to shake the bottles.
But yeah, it's so mad. It's thin. So I mean,
Fred, if you've got
was it ultra low friction fluid or something?
the brakes are usually all the same on those, from my experience. The axle shaft snapped.
Yikes.
I don't know if you can low time and service an axle housing.
Can you load time and service anything?
Engines.
Yeah, I low time and service to 650 on a 650.
1212.
I did
Yep.
a Shelby motor.
And man, that was not low time and service. It took a while for stuff to show up.
So Matt, what's the point of it being thin? Just like, oh, this is thin. I don't know if I'd even
Reduce friction and better fuel economy.
EPA, man. EPA.
It's Matt. It's so thin that it catches like.
Cody, Aaron and I were thinking about talking about stuff, and we're like, you know what? It's just better that we don't talk about it. So I have very mixed feelings about this.
You're right. I've
Very
never
mixed feelings.
seen really thin. I mean, I don't know. I never thought about thin trans fluid before. It's that thin.
Jesus
like-
Christ, Fred. Fred got us.
What do you get you with?
Read it.
Oh man.
That is right, Buddy Black. Forward backwards is driver returned on foot.
First on race day.
Well,
Windshield
this might be a
legit.
good time to end the L Super Chat. I really appreciate the guys who came through, made a donation to the channel, answering questions here, just talking about trucks and 430 gears and axle swaps and watery fluid. It's I appreciate everybody watching, coming through, doing the live stream questions, and yeah.
When do you
Perfect
guys
fun.
want to hear us? Do you guys want to hear us at freaking 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, or do you want it during the week?
When do you guys not have golf league? Please
Dude, I
let
got
me
it
know
on
in the
Wednesday.
comment
Sorry,
section.
man. I can't help it.
I'm gonna go change my coolant to that new red stuff that Matt was telling me about.
Dude,
I'll
go
put it
for
right
it.
here in my 6.2.
It's all you.
All right, you guys. Catch me next time. Check us out on our social media. Matt, Cody, DS.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to send us out.
Oh, and Matt. Here we go. Thanks for watching us tonight, everybody. And here is Matt.
Don't forget to spay neuter your